Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and it's about the third week in July. I'm just going to take you on a tour of my backyard, kind of cottage garden tour. This is where I sit on my days off, just enjoying this view. Love being flanked by these caladiums. And then this lamb's ear. The shine on this, that silvery foliage is just lovely. Alright, I think I'm going to start over here. We are supposed to get rain today, along with storms. We can get a little bit of a cool down coming. I think they're talking low 80s for a little bit, which we greatly appreciated. This is a perennial mum down here. I did not pinch it. I'm just enjoying the blooms now. I think it's really pretty. And this is my Hearty Hibiscus. I'm just really trying to keep this one watered and fertilized. I don't want those buds falling off. And this hydrangea here is the Limelight Prime. Just starting. I think all of the limelights are a little bit later for blooms, which is good. I like how it staggers all of it. I'm just starting here, but it is covered, which I'm kind of glad that they're not fully open yet with the rain that we're supposed to get. So fingers crossed, because we definitely could use some. My shade gardens are all wilting. The ajuga, the snow on the mountain, but look at that. They are sturdy stems, but the thing is these flower heads get so big that even when it rains, can't wait. They're all paniculatas. They're 8 years old. Look at this one. They do turn pink, kind of a mauve color, and it's nice, but I really like the white. I'm just, oh, there's something about that. Let me get some lucky foliage in here. It's okay. I love that a lot. And then this is a little limelight. Again, this is always a later one. Looking good. Last year it was struggling just a little bit, and I know there was some dieback in there, but it has really filled out nicely. Just love that. I did tie in my rows a little bit. I need to do a little more on. There's a huge cane coming out over here. Just massive. But I ran out of twine. And I did deadhead what I could just standing on the ground. I do need to get to the top, but I don't think today. Maybe tomorrow, depending. Sometimes with the storm it brings winds the next day. And just a front coming through. But it's climbing rose. William Baffin is still doing really good. I tied this one up here. Like, oops, so sorry, Mr. B. Smells lovely. Yeah, I know. He's probably sleeping. It's only like 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I better go. I'm just leaving the grasses here. I know they're browning up the heads, but I really like that. These are kind of falling, the spent flowers of the Purple Sensation alliums. So when they fall, I just get rid of them. The Veronica is starting to go over. It is throwing off some blooms. So it will bloom throughout the season. It did last year. Not as good as the first show. I'm sure if I went in there and deadheaded it, I might have to. Because I have a feeling if we get some heavy rains, this is going to flop. So it might be a good time to do that. But yeah, it does keep blooming throughout the season. That's what I like about this one. Just seeds I started. Sightseeing mixture. The David Tall Garden Phlox is going to be blooming at some point. I can't wait. I think it looks really good. It's filled in nicely here. These roses are starting to go over. I did fertilize them. I've got some new growth coming down there, but we haven't gotten any rain. I just can't believe how much this is filled in. I thought it was pretty full last year, but nothing to this year. Like this Baptisia is huge, and I don't cut mine back. I think it looks beautiful. It looks like a shrub whenever it's done blooming. I mean, this foliage is great. I never have any issues with it turning colors or it. Yeah, it does keep throwing off some new growth. I do have a cage around the bottom. I'll show you here in just a second. Just kind of want to show you these. I love this. The Gara, the grasses, the Calamintha. They just float. These tend to flop in a rain. I think I've watered this garden bed twice this season, and the soil just drains a lot. But I think this is a good choice for these beds because they don't require a lot of water. But down here, so it's just a peony cage just to support those stems, because I can guarantee you if I didn't have that, it would be laying on the ground. It's just beautiful. Delphiniums here. All of a sudden I came, I'm like, whoa, I remember I planted this back here, but I've just gotten tall, which they're supposed to. And then throwing off more flower spikes, even not in this one right here. So, super cool about that. I did plant some more lupins down here. Oh, I'll get to that after I finish over here. These daylilies over here are going bananas. That's the name. They are kind of finishing up. They're one of the earlier ones. I do like them, but they're in fantastic soil, lots of sun. When I mean fantastic soil, just it's not as compact as the ground right now. I don't know. They did really good. They did better than last year, but I do have some daylilies that are looking a lot better, and I haven't done anything with them. Just wanted to show you this. I love this. I just love how it sways. It's like my own little meadow. And then a self-seeded Cleome, which I left along with some Nicotiana. I ran out of the lime green Nicotiana seeds. So it's nice to see that it's self-seeded. Tomatoes are looking really good. It's loaded, nothing ripening yet. These are a determinate variety aromas. I mean, it's just, I would say I probably have at least 50 tomatoes on this plant. Cucumbers have been doing good. It's hard to keep up with the watering though. I do have to come in here and harvest. Do I have one in here? I just need to remember to wear a long sleeve shirt, which I have on, but other times I'm just in a t-shirt, and oh, also, oh, yeah, down there. You see? So they're not really big. They're probably about between 4 to 5 inches long. But I think I've gotten about 30 cucumbers from here so far, so I think that's pretty good. Just wanted to show you because it's all happening up top. I have a cup and saucer vine, Cabea scandens, and look, it's blooming. I couldn't believe it. I was thinking it was going to, and there's lots of buds up there, and I had a white one blooming also. That was the first one, was the white one. And I'm like, no way. I wasn't expecting anything until, well, August, in which we are getting close. But yeah, maybe I can find a white one in there. I think they last maybe a couple days. Not long, but you know what? They're definitely different. Have never grown them before and started them from seed. This is Quickfire Fab Hydrangea. Looking fantastic. I just planted this late last season, so it will take a bit for it to get to the height that I want it to get to. These are the ones where when they fall over, I just kind of pull them. Right now I could pull them all out very easily. Another lupin. It was a seed I started in early in the season. I want to say February. And drumstick alliums are going over. I'm just letting it, I kind of like that color with the penstemon foliage here, onyx and pearls. I'm just going to show you this quick before I forget. So the reason why I planted my other lupins is, look, I've got a spike. Like, I was not expecting it to even do this year. How crazy is that? So that's why I had to plant the other one. So hopefully maybe I'll get a bloom a little bit later in the season. We'll see. My son's situation always changes drastically. But the other ones are not putting out a spike yet, but look at that. It's like I did that. Another self-seeded Cleome. Love it. I'm going to do this before I forget. So look at this daylily. This is Nosferatu. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 17 scapes on it. Is that not crazy? That's why, and I haven't done anything with this daylily. So, but I mean, when you look in there, it looks pretty gnarly. And that's just due to not having rain. And that is just one plant in there. So that's why it's like that one. That's a vigorous grower. Cucumbers are looking good. I think I'm going to come in here and just cut off this foliage. It's looking a little tough. I mean, it's definitely taken over. Look. This is Market More. I think I saw 1 or 2 cucumbers on so far. Over here I just have, well, they're supposed to be bush beans, but they're kind of climbing a little bit. But I do have beans. Look at that. Itty bitty baby beans. I know there's some that are a little bit bigger than others, but fingers crossed with this rain we get, that will definitely help. But it is loaded in blooms, so hopefully I'll be picking a lot of beans here in about the next week to 2 weeks. And then over here, these Delphiniums just keep putting out more. And these were seeds I started, I want to say, February also. And there's another one in here and back, just starting over here. Been deadheading my zinnias. I need to do this one though. I forgot that one. These big lead plants are hollyhocks. And then, oh, it's not blooming. That's a shame. The hyacinth bean vine here, Silver Moon, is just, oh, there is a bloom in there. Maybe I'll get back there. I'm leaving these also. Probably shouldn't because it's probably taking energy from the plant, but look at how white these beans are. But I'm loving the Silver Moon, and the scent on it is heavenly. the Ruby Moon is not doing fantastic. There are some blooms, but you can see the foliage in here is kind of scarce. But I think I will be getting some blooms at some point. Again, they are all on top just because that's where the most sun is. This was a bloom here from Cup and Saucer. That's what I'm left with. Here's one of the... This was loaded the other day. But look, it's such a long stem, and like I said, the smell is amazing. Alright, let me walk back out of my little tunnel here. I'd walk straight through, but right now the cucumbers are... That's my tiny little path. More cucumbers. The foliage at the bottom doesn't look the best, but I think it's just being shaded out by the plants in front of it, and that's fine. I'm hoping I can get at least about a dozen cucumbers from these plants. I'll be okay with that. I would like more. I love cucumbers. Yeah, I can't wait till that daylily is in bloom. These grasses just keep putting out more, and I love them. These little Dr. Seuss heads from the clematis. So cute. Look at this is a teeny tiny little one from the Princess Kate one. The Nepeta looks good. It's filling in really nicely. I was thinking about moving some stuff in here, and I'm not gonna keep this. This is Stachy's officinalis. It just flopped all over, and I think if I could have it planted back here where everything can support it, it'd be great. I feel bad because it is a profuse bloomer, but it doesn't look really good up front. So I just cut everything back right now, and so yeah. So this is where I was thinking about moving the Balmy Rose Bee Balm forward and just giving it this space. I was thinking about putting, but I know the lamb's ear will creep into here, so I'm not going to put anything there knowing it's going to get crowded later on. But right now I think I'm just, oh, I went past Blue Hobbit. Hydrangea. My poor hose keeps trampling over it or running over it. I have a lot of hose guides, I just need to get more. The foliage on this is just beautiful. This is Lychnis. I was hoping it would bloom this season. There is still enough time for it to put out a spike. One spike would make me very happy. Seeds I started, but there's always next year. But when I look in here, just the other day I noticed this. My foxgloves are starting to get some bloom spikes. So, can't wait. And if we get rain, I think it'll really make them pop. So I could probably get in here and deadhead my roses, and I might at some point. These roses tend to just keep going and putting out new growth and blooming, so they're a little more low maintenance. I did find one Japanese beetle in here, but that's all. The yarrow is kind of a little floppy back there, but I still think it looks okay. And trying to get back there to trim is a little difficult. This hydrangea here is gorgeous. This is Quickfire Tidbit. No. Firelight Tidbit. There we go. This is Amsonia down here. I only got one bloom from this, but I think it's amazing foliage. And then all of these ornamental alliums that are just waiting. I mean, look at that. I can't wait. It's just going to be a little sea of purple in there. And then this pink phlox is just starting here. This self-seeded from the other ones, and that's fine. It is a very bright pink. So it's definitely not one you're going to miss in the garden. And the scent is really lovely on these also, like that. Just starting back here. I don't know the name of this coneflower. What is it? It's the last one to survive in my garden. I think I had 4 or 5 other ones when I first planted this area. And this one just, for some reason, really likes it here. I think one year I'm going to come out and it's going to be gone. It just tends to happen. This bee balm is all over. I'm not going to deadhead it to get a second flush of blooms. It usually never happens with me with this late in the season. And it's kind of a pain to get in there to deadhead all that. So it's just going to look like this. This is a different one. I don't know the variety here. I didn't plant it. I'm wondering if it kind of cross-pollinated with another one and made a new plant. Because it's a lot taller than the others and it's a brighter pink. This bleeding heart here just keeps trucking along. So they're not joking when they say it just keeps blooming, and it's been doing really good here. I'm surprised. The salvias I've been deadheading. I'm still debating if I like this here. Just, I don't know. I mean, I love salvias, and then I'm kind of... But just kind of notes I'm taking. And then look at the delphiniums. Look at this one back here. Is that not kind of different in its blooms? Very clustered. Look at that. On camera, it's showing that it's blue, but it's very purple. Like kind of a dusty purple. Smoky. But look at this one. They were all supposed to be this type. It's kind of cool, isn't it? Or maybe I mixed them up. Let's go with that. And then I have a foxglove back here with a bloom spike forming, so can't wait. These are just Texas sage in here. We got snow nymph and coral nymph just starting. These are annuals. I don't plant a whole lot of annuals into my garden beds. I think they're a lot of work, and I don't feel like watering a whole lot. And I love working with perennials. Yeah, I still have not cut back my lady's mantle. It may not happen this year. I'm really enjoying my gardens. I've been sitting back, and I mean, there's always that pull to get up and do something. So I do. Just whether it's deadhead a little bit, weed, or just kind of wander. But yeah, that pull is always there to get up and do something. But I think the biggest thing that I can take away from my gardens is you do need to sit back and enjoy them, all your hard work. Because if you're constantly busy in your gardens and creating, and I burnt myself out last year. So this year, I'm trying to just enjoy them. It's been so fun. Another Baptisia. Just seeing something. Okay, never. That was a bug, but it's just a brown little seed pod. Like I said, I just love what it can give in a garden. I've seen people cut them back, and I just love that foliage. They do get big, they take up a lot of space, and that's why you need to give it the room to grow. Sometimes I'm really bad at planting things very close and having to take them out later, but I'm trying to be a little bit better about that. Loving the incredible hydrangea. And the clematis back here is beautiful. This is pink mink. I love how it's worked its way all the way up, and just, it looks glorious. And then the Polish Spirit Viticella, or I should say Viticella Polish Spirit. Love this one. It's aggressive. So I think if I had another arch, this would take over. I wish I had more spots for clematis. And then another little hottie. I really like the foliage on it and the growth. It's just, everything about it is really nice. I think it gets about 3 feet tall, maybe a little bit more. And then this, I don't know the names of these daylilies. I'm very sorry about that. Look at that. Just beautiful. And I might just do a quick video on these daylilies when they're all blooming. This one was blooming the other day. And this is one of my favorites. And of course, well, it was blooming yesterday, let's say, because there was a reason why they're called daylilies. That one's, so I'm hoping. Lots of buds in there. This one here too is, it's lovely. That's not the name. It's just very pretty. But here's the thing I'm having. I think because we've been dry, this is what's been happening to my, they just fall off. And they're not really forming. I mean, this one's yellow, so I don't think this one's going to mount to anything down here. So I'm just finding it on this daylily right now that this scape seems pretty good. I think these will all bloom. There's a lot on there. But yeah, some of them, I don't know. And it could be the season. Dry and hot. By hot, I mean high 90s, some hundreds. Look, I have some bee balm that's trying to make it a Jacob Klein. I had a pink variety in here and a purple, and this is all that survived through being underwater. Such a shame. I love bee balm. I could go in here and shear back some of this Nepeta, but I think it'll be fine because I got a lot in here that's coming. These are all Autumn Joy sedums. I do not go in here and cut off the blooms. I leave them. I think they still offer something to the garden. I know it's brown, but also, how would I get in there? I think that's the biggest thing, is how would I get in there to control that beast? So I think I'll tell myself that looks good the way it is. Oh, wow. Almost went past this. I did fertilize all my roses, but look. And I didn't deadhead this one, so this is where the new foliage pushes through and just keeps on blooming. It kind of covers up the buds, the dead buds. Look at this color back here. How different. And it's the same one. It's paprika, also easy paprika. That is so pretty. Oops. I don't show this area too much right now because it's not an area that I'm loving. I do have annuals down here. I just have them in containers that I sunk into the ground, Plectranthus, and they are filling out very nicely as a ground cover and doing what I wanted. But this is where I had goat spirit in here to get tall and beautiful, and I think it would have looked amazing here if we would have been underwater. But right now it's just and then I have the Tradescantia here, which is going crazy. So it's doing really good. It's just not offering a whole lot of height that I'm missing from this area. And then once kind of towards the end of the season comes, they're going to come out, and I'll be putting some other perennials here. So I just kind of go past it, and it looks good. Turtle head. It blooms Chelone. It blooms very late in the season, which I love and hate at the same time, just because that means fall is around the corner. And I know some of you love fall, but that's because you actually get a fall, and it's nice, and you appreciate it because you have a break from the heat. But I don't like it because it usually goes from summer to 2 weeks of fall and then right into winter. Last year I think we did have a pretty decent fall, so so if we have that again, that'll be nice. I think this is a goldenrod in there. I had a few last year, but you know what? I know it's invasive, but I will manage it at another time. Persicaria Painter's Palette. Love this. Still looking good. I'm very happy about that. I just have this in a container. This is a Ligularia I saved from one of my garden beds, and I still need to figure out where to put that one. Usually the foliage is much more purple than that, and so where I had it, it was very shaded. So I moved it there, hoping it gets a little more sun and kind of colors up again. Yes, all the flowers are still on my hostas, and I kind of like it on this one. It's dainty, not in the way. These are the ones I don't like. Just really don't like those. But I'm leaving them. They're offering some color right now. The hummingbirds love it, the bees love it, and then when they are kind of done, I'll go in there and cut them off. I do normally cut all of my flower spikes off. I just grow the hostas for the foliage, but like I said, I've been kind of sitting back and enjoying my gardens, taking a little more hands-off approach to my gardens. Heuchera, crisping up a little bit. I did cut that down. I took the seed heads and I just kind of sprinkled it all over the garden. So we'll see what happens. Might not have been the best idea, but Tiny Wine Ninebark. I'm loving the shrub. I know it's little. I can't wait till it gets bigger and that foliage pops through along with this one here. I love it. Oh, I have to show you this. Look, my honeysuckle. It's reblooming. Love it. And it's covered again. Not like the first time, but this is definitely, I will take it. I'm just worried that this is going to get a little heavy over here for this arch. It is not cemented into the ground. I've got some pretty deep stakes holding it in. I'm thinking I might have to plant something over here. And please don't cringe. I was thinking ivy, and I know I'll have to maintain it, but it is very shady over there on that side. And that does not get a lot of sun like the other with the honeysuckle. Loving my caladiums that I started from the corms. That is the only way I'll plant them. Oh, look at that. I know this isn't a container tour, but I am still amazed at my caladiums. I get so many comments. Yep, so this is what I relax in. It's so nice. Oh, mosquito found me. just going to show you over here real quick. These are plants that I rescued from my gardens, because where I had these, so the giant fleece flower was covering this up, and I really want them to get a good shot at life. This one I want to say is Jurassic Park Hosta. This one is T-Rex. This hellebore, I've not rescued it, but I just haven't figured out where I want to plant it yet. So I've had that from, I think, in May. And then this is Cool as a Cucumber. Again, they were just all being crowded, covered, shaded, and plants still need sun to survive. And then this one is a Clethra. And this is where I have the Lemony lace elderberry. I had this there and it wasn't doing anything, and then I potted it into this container and it has put out, along with my hair, tremendous amount of growth. I would say about 4 inches, and it just keeps, so I have to figure out where I want to plant that. But yeah, it just wasn't doing good, so there might be other plants I try and save too. Don't ask me where I'm going to put them, but right now they're going to stay here. And then, yeah. So these are my Stonehenge Yews, and the reason why I'm trying to save these is because great garden plants, they're out of stock. So my neighbor mowed over these with his lawnmower, so not too happy. But I'm really hoping, I know that's pitiful, but we'll see. I don't have high hopes for that one, but I don't know. I think if there's still some life to those roots, something will happen. So that's why these plants are here. A little collection of where to plant them. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed my backyard cottage garden tour. I want to say happy gardening, and bye for now.